Hey folks, welcome to another battle report, and this time it's another 4-pointer. It's going to be my last 4-pointer practice game, and it's my Welsh up against the Anglo-Saxons. And I have to say the Anglo-Saxons has pushed me to decide finally what I'm going to be doing with my Welsh, and I'll get with that in a minute. Just a quick look at what's in the armies. So with the Anglo-Saxons, we're looking at a mounted warlord with a banner, 2 units of 12 warriors, and then 2 units of 6 levy with slings. And then for my Welsh, it's the normal 3 lots of 8 warriors with javelins and a mounted 8 warrior with javelins as well. So the setup was the normal 12, long in from either table edge. He set up his first, which was his 2 units of levy and his warlord on the one side, and I squashed everyone in that little choke point. I thought it might be quite useful for me with some difficult terrain on either side. I've got all my guys down there, and then he just puts his warriors opposite me, his 2 units of 12. So this is his left flank. So it's 2 units of 6 levy. Interesting idea. Just using these really just to stay back, do some supporting damage, and generally just use them for generating 2 SAGA dice. He's got a lovely, almost like a Romano-British warlord here to lead them, and this is not what I've seen yet with the Anglo-Saxons. It'll be interesting. Not only is he mounted, but he also has a banner. Banner, I believe, at the beginning of your turn automatically removes one of your fatigues. Drops him to only 5 attacks though, but he has the ability to rally round the banner, which means he can, as an action, remove all his fatigue, and that's all he can do for that turn. But good, since the fatigue is generally wounds for your warlord, so it's making him quite tough, I'd imagine. And then on his right he has his 2 units of warriors, both 12 strong. These should take some punishment, but hopefully I've got enough shooting to sort them out. And here I've gone for 4 warrior units, all in 8-man. I've kept them small units, and I've got my warlord behind. So I've got a lot of damage output here. I'm hoping if I can roll a 6, I can be able to move everyone, and that should really get some damage done. So my opponent gets first turn, manages to roll a 6, so as you can see, look at that. Considering he starts with 3, he's got 5 damn dice on his battle board. So he managed to roll a 6 twice, and got some abilities out, and then just use the maneuvers to start pushing everybody up. And here on his left flank, you can just see him pushing up his levy here, and his warlord just hiding in behind them. So in my turn, I move up to make some space to get my knights ready to a quick dash. I was debating on whether to go around and take out his levy. Since they're only 6-man units, I only have to kill 1 off in each for them to no longer generate SAGA dice. Looking back at this, it would probably have been a better idea to wipe out the 2 SAGA dice relatively easily on those. I could have got these guys completely exhausted, doing it, dropping him 2 SAGA dice, probably for the loss of these chaps in the future, but that would be my 1 to his 2, and I would have probably done better with it. But for now, I've put them here, ready to do a counter charge in his maneuvers. My opponent moves up, and then moves up a second time using his ability that allows you to move 2 units of 10 or more. And I had the ability, which I believe is Gorilla, which allows me to shoot at anyone within a unit that moved within M. Anyone within M can then fire at them. So I managed to knock off 3 of these guys with my 2 units. And we're looking at something like this. I was quite pleased with this. I should be able to chuck some javelins in, hammer the smaller unit, and then start picking on the bigger unit just to reduce it to a more manageable size. I have a reserve of 8 warriors, and my warlord there as well I can throw in. So to start it off, I chuck in my 8 warriors here with their javelins. I'll be reducing their armour to 3s, and of course my armour is to 3s as well. But this is just for me, just to chuck in some damage, get these guys reduced, and then finish them off with my second unit. So with a couple of his defensive abilities, and my dice is mood with me at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with my dice. They have issues with me at the moment, and I only managed to kill 1 and lost 2 in return. That was somewhat disappointing. I was hoping to reduce them to a small enough amount that my other unit can go in and seriously damage them, and probably stop them from being able to generate SAGA. But for now, that's that. I push back, and as planned, I then throw in my other warrior unit. Now he's got some fatigue on him. I'll be using that to drop his armour, so I'll be hitting him on 2s. So I've got 8 attacks hitting on 2s. I'll be quite happy with that. That should do some damage. But yeah, my bloody dice. Seriously, I go in there I'm hitting him on 2s, he's hitting me on 3s. I do 2 wounds, and he does 4 to me. So I nearly lost a Saga dice there, trying to finish these guys off. That was really upsetting. It's not what I had planned at all. But he'll bounce, and no, I'll bounce, and I'll have another go because I've got my Warlord in behind. This is why I kind of stacked them up, so I could just keep throwing at them, get the fatigue on them, hitting them on 2s, and try and finish them off. Not quite going as planned so far. So my Warlord goes in to try and finish these guys off. I mean, I've got 8 attacks. I'm hitting on 2s. So twice in a row I'll be hitting on 2s. I should be able to kill 3, and then he won't be able to generate. So thankfully my Warlord does what my other guys failed to do, and manages to reduce it to 3 guys, so they're no longer generating a Saga dice. I'd just like to finish them off a bit later, and as you can see, no damage to my Warlord. And then I move these guys up on the left here, just to get them close, ready to start counter-charging as well. In a vain hope, what I'm going to do is, if he tries to charge my little 4-man unit, I'm going to try and swing my chaps across just to block them in. So as I move up, I throw some javelins, manage to cause a casualty on these chaps. So things that end up looking something like this. I did what? To be fair, I did. I think I killed 3 off, didn't I, on the first round? So that put me down to 9. So I've killed 6 off for a loss of 6 warriors. It's not really what I wanted. I mean, I'm having a go at him. I was hoping to do a bit better. But again, my dice are really enjoying themselves at the moment. So with that, my opponent activates to move these guys to charge my 4-man unit. I believe I think it's the evade action. And I use my 8-man warriors to step in front. Yeah, looking back on this was a crap idea. These 8-man warrior units really do not hold their own against much. Having an armor of 3s means you're very likely to damage them. But looking on the dice rolls so far, there was a fair chance I should be able to hold at least, 4 men back to keep my Saga dice. And remembering that I can't go defensive because I'm carrying javelins, I do no damage to him, and he kills all 8 of mine. Yes, that wasn't great, and that's also now put a fatigue on my Warlord, the little 4-man unit, and the unit to the left. So I've got loads of fatigue on everybody. If I can get a 6, that'd be an uncommon dice roll. That'd be great. A dragon. I should be able to lose these fatigues in. My opponent moved up and allowed me one of my reaction abilities. And by the way, I'll let you know now, I don't roll a dragon throughout this game at all. Yeah, that sucked, because I could have really done with that to help me get rid of some of these fatigues and get some activations going. Awesome, just for some extra dice, really. So it's a reaction I can do after he finishes a move. I can do a charge or a move. So I'm going to charge out here. I use my 6 guys to take on his 3, kill them off just to give me the extra points and start putting fatigue on his people. Again, it backfires. I only managed 1 hit on 1 wound to him, and he gets 1 of mine. So I am pushed back again. So it remains with 2. So at the end of his turn, we're looking at something like this. So I go for them again, and again I don't wipe them out. That's just so annoying. I set up here really just to go into them and finish them, and then I'll be happy, and I can go on and do some other stuff. Unfortunately, because I didn't finish him, I'm going to go for them again. I didn't take any casualties. He went defensive. Yeah, I just want to get that wipe out a unit and get the fatigue on people. So I go in again, and this time I managed to finish him off. So that took me, like 3 rounds of combat to kill 3 guys off, and I pretty much was always hitting them on 2s. Yeah, I was disappointed. So with the fatigue on my opponent's Warlord, and the fact that he's only got 5 attacks to my 8, I decided to go in. We're hitting each other on 4s. There's a damn good chance I can take this guy out. But unbelievably, as you can imagine, we both flub. I don't think I do any damage to him. Yeah, I might have. No, I don't think I spent his fatigue, and I had 1 on me. So maybe I even came off worse there. Not a great charge. So back to my opponent's turn, and he starts pushing through my small units and takes on my little 4-man unit and wipes them out for no loss in return, of course. His warlord goes, I think it's Brett Volder, and goes for my warlord. So he's actually up to 10 attacks now, so that's not bad considering he's got a banner. It's not the Brett Volder himself that gives him the 10 attacks, that makes him a unit strength of 10. And it was one of the other abilities which give him, I think, like 2 attacks and plus another 3 attacks if you're of unit strength 10 or more. So yeah, he ends up with 10 attacks and wipes out my warlord. And so things are looking like this. It's just not great. Down to generating 2 Saga dice, and I could really do with rolling 6. But as I say, this game I do not roll a dragon at all, and have to rely on my small amount of actions. But his warlord is now there by himself. I have 2 units. If I can take out his warlord, that'll be a start. So with that plan, I move my 8-man unit up so they can throw some javelins at him. Being mounted, his armour is only 4 against my javelins, so there's a good chance of getting some damage through. So I did nothing the first time, and I moved to here at the second move, because I was going to try and use my javelins. I just decided it would be better off, because in the combat he's still got their Brett Volder up, so he's still got his armour is 6 in combat, and counts as 10 guys, so he had loads of abilities. So my javelins would hurt more, and I just managed to do 1 wound. Come on, dice. So with his banner he's able to rest and then charges into my mounted in his turn and wipes them down to 1. So I'm down to 1 Saga dice now. And all he could do is, the rest of his moves is move up to this position, you can see them in here. And that gave me a chance to charge his warlord for my final push, just to try and get rid of him. And yeah, didn't kill him. Instead I lost most of my guys and ended up having no Saga dice. So the game was over. It was turn 6 anyway, so I had to throw my chances in there. The most points I could get was taking out his warlord. And unfortunately I did not. So that was the game to the Anglo-Saxons. So what did I learn from this game? Yes, my warriors are very squishy, and that his big unit of 12 warriors works quite well. So this is now my thinking for the tournament. I'm going to get rid of my mounted, and I'm going to go for 4 units of 4 points of warriors, and put them in a 12, 12, 10. Does that work? I've got to think now. 8. It'll be a 8 gives me 32, so it would be 11, 11, 10, wouldn't it? Warriors, I think that's right, my maths correct. 11, 11, 10, so that gives me a few more shots. I can take a bit more punishment. I'll be generating 1 less Saga dice than normal, but I think I can live with that, as long as I get to be aggressive. I mean, this game definitely showed me even now, a 6 would have been great to, Dragon would have been great to help out my units, but never got to roll one. I really have to be on the attack. On defense, I'm getting all the disadvantages. My arm is dropped by 1 while my opponent's isn't. The javelin bonus only works when you charge. Again, also in this game, I think my cavalry should have gone out and sorted out his levy. If they'd done that, I reckon I could have spent quite a few actions just to get them into repeated combats. Just killed 1 off each, and then that would have been 2 less Saga dice for my opponent. Instead I did what I did here. My evade plan of chucking my 8-man warrior unit to stop him charging my 4-man warrior unit was complete waste. If I just let him kill my 4-man warrior unit, I would have been down a Saga dice, but would still have had a complete unit. That was slightly annoying. Instead I lost my 8-man unit. So yeah, for the tournament I think I'm going to go for 3 units, 11, 11, 10, all with javelins, so it'd be pretty solid, and see how it goes. The only thing I can ask for is my dice to rush to roll just a little bit better, to give me a bit more of a chance as well. They are not rolling the greatest at the moment. It's going to hopefully change around. I've had a bit of a bad run with dice, so all in all, hopefully in the tournament, which is in 2 weeks' time now, so I should have, I think, 4 games for you to see. How we're running it as well, it's going to be a single game and then 2 doubles and then a single game. and then it's all going to be the Clash of Warlords scenario. It's all going to be massacre points and your double games. Basically what will happen is you'll divide your total score in two, so that's your score for your players, and it'll be the player with the most massacre points at the end of the tournament will win. And we got a few goodies as well, many thanks to Gripping Beast for that, and just to keep people happy, we've got some guys from quite a good spread as well. We've got some of my local club members, some chaps coming down from Barnstable, guys coming up from Falmouth, so it's you know, it's a good spread on players. Just nice if we had just a few more. I'd like, I mean, another 16 or so people would have been nice. But it seems to be at the moment, unless it's a really big tournament, it's hard to get people out to your own events. I think this is pretty much across the board. So I kind of do stuff that I know my club members will go to, and anything extra is just a bonus. Alright guys, so I'll see you next time. Alright, farewellis.